Welcome back to EDN113, Living and Learning with Technology, External Student Workshop 3, and we will be continuing with Activity 3B and discussing the assignment Task 1. Activity 3B. Now, Activity 3B is split up in a few parts. In Part 1, you need to create a group Google site. Now, please note that this is applicable for those students who have not yet had the opportunity to create a group Google site over the past 2 weeks. If you're one of those students, then you will this week need to create a Google site in your group. One person will create the site and give editing rights to the rest of the members in that group. Now, all of you, whether you are just creating a Google site or whether you are using an existing one that you have created over the past 2 weeks, you will make sure that there's at least 3 pages on your Google site, an introductory page with a short introduction to the year level and the topic of your videos, and a space where you will be able to upload or embed your videos. The next page will be an evaluation page, and as a group you will discuss and compile a rubric for evaluation, which you are then going to use in your peer reviews. You need to upload a copy of this compiled rubric on this page. And lastly, an About Me page where each member will write a short paragraph about themselves, their studies, and so forth. Now, you might wonder about the videos that I've talked about. You might wonder about the rubrics that I just talked about and the peer reviews. And I am going to take the next few slides to go through those things separately with you. Good. Part 2. When looking at session 3B, we find that first of all we had to do our readings on digital storytelling. After you finish that, you can go on and decide what type of work you want to produce, whether it's going to be a myth or a legend, whether it's going to be an advertising piece, or just a story describing a situation. Once you've done that, you will then go and find a technology that you're going to use to create your digital story. There's a few different links that I can provide you with. One is Photo Story, that's already there, and there's a video on how to upload it to YouTube, or you can just create a 30-second video on digital citizenship on using your phone, and there's also how to upload a video to YouTube, a link over there. Now I'll show you some other resources for digital storytelling in a moment, but once you've created your video, you will then upload your video to YouTube, and the link that you have there will you then share on your Google site with your group. Make sure that that link is also shared with your tutor. Let's quickly look at digital storytelling resources. We find that we've got something like Pantoon, which is a digital animation software package that allows you to make short videos and presentations. Then you've got Storyboard. It's a platform where you can create digital comic strips. And you've got Photo Story, where you're actually taking some photos and make it collectively into a story. And you've got links on the slideshow to all of the resources. Moving on. Let's look at rubrics. I talked about you have to compile a rubric. Now, in order to do this, you in your group needs to discuss 3 to 5 different general criteria for evaluating digital stories. I've got some reference websites here that can enable you to create these rubrics. Once you've created your rubric, the rubric needs to be saved and then uploaded to your Google site so that I can see what the rubric looks like first of all, and secondly so that the rest of the people have the rubric on hand when they are watching your videos to evaluate them. Now the next one is where you're actually going to do your peer reviews. You're going to review the group members' videos. So every individual needs to upload their Google video to, their YouTube video to the Google site, so that their group members will have access to view their digital story on YouTube. Then they need to score it using the rubric, and then they need to leave the comments on your YouTube channel. Now I will show you how to do that shortly. After doing leaving the comments, you will then tally the scores and identify which video has got the highest score. And then on LMS, you need to explain your group's evaluation criteria and broadcast the video with the highest score in the group to the whole class. Okay, let's move on and quickly look at how to leave your feedback. Now, part 5 is how to leave your feedback. Firstly, you have to go to the appropriate video that you want to leave comments on. Once you have the video, you click on the person or creator's name. That will take you to their page or their channel. Once you're there, you'll click on discussion. Once you're there, you will leave your feedback. Now let's quickly look at the sequence of events. Firstly, you have to do your readings, then you need to create a Google site, then you need to create a digital story, then you need to upload your YouTube link to your group Google site. You need to create a rubric. You need to evaluate each other's YouTube videos and leave feedback on the YouTube channel. And lastly, you need to explain your group's evaluation criteria and broadcast the video with the highest score on your class LMS. So that is the sequence of events for activity 3B. Now, every week we write a little reflection and we need to post it to Lenoy. Now, I've had some questions about how to get there, how to use Lenoid, and then that is why I have decided to include the following slide as well. On this slide, it just shows you that you go to your class canvas, you select your class. Once you've clicked on your class, it will come up with your reflection sessions. You click on the session that you're going to use, in this case session 3. That'll take you to your page. Once you're on your page, select a sticky, drag and drop it, and write your reflection on your sticky. Now, we've come to the conclusion of task 3B. Next up, we're going to look at the assignment. Now, that is your first big assignment. If you go to the LMS and you look at Task 1 Digital Citizen Project, you will find that this task is set out in 3 stages or 3 parts. Part A is your evidence sheet. Part B is your group project plan. And part C is your actual group wiki. Now, we're quickly, and then at the bottom here, you have your marking guide that tells you what you need to do to get maximum marks for each section. Part 1. Complete your evidence sheet. The due date of this is the 26th of March before 9 o'clock in the morning. Now, we have done activity 1 in session 1. We've done activity 2 in session 2. We are doing activity 3A and 3B this week. So you'll be doing your screen capture of your web quest on Digo, the 200 words reflection evaluation that you did, and you will have the link to your YouTube video on your page as evidence for your digital story. So you've got 2 tasks to post to your evidence sheet this week. Next up, we have our group project plan. Now, our group project plan needs to be completed by the whole group. So you will have one person will download it and share it with the rest, or if you have, in my case, in our classroom, we have dedicated Google Drive folders. So my students will go to their Google Drive folder, find their group project plan there ready to use, and everybody can fill in the part that they need to fill in. And once it's completed, then it's ready for handing in when on the due date. And lastly, it's part C. It's what is expected of you. Now, you will have to create a group wiki based on the WebQuest inquiry approach. The approach involves the scaffolding of project tasks for students to complete. So, you'll have an introduction where you'll set a context for them, and that will help them to relate to the task to a real-world situation. Then, you'll set the task. The task in your WebQuest is for your students to develop a digital story on good citizenship, digital citizenship, by producing a video or comics or animation. And you will have to produce an example of this project or product. The process is you will outline the process for them. This includes this assigning specific roles to each student, listing specific web resources, and you would want them them to take a look at. Then the evaluation. You will develop a set of rubrics for them to know what to aim for and for them to evaluate themselves. As a conclusion, you will summarize their learning in this conclusion section. Credits, you will provide proper citations on your WebQuest. And the About Us page, this page is for you. Each of you will have their own About Me page to introduce yourself and to explain how your WebQuest facilitates meaningful learning. And that concludes our lecture, as well as our talk about assignment task 1.